like a map like Overpass, not because I actually kind of don't like the map, but I appreciate that in Overpass it has a very special mechanic that you don't have for CT Hearts on any other map, like that you can push so far and take like almost 2/3 of the map straight away and then slowly get worked back. Like that, that's unique to Overpass. There's no other map like that, and it makes it CT sided, but that's beautiful because then there's going to be certain teams that are particularly good at those skill sets and they get a chance to shine. But the best teams are the teams that are the best at all the skill sets. Like
Exactly.
So I love that about CS.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting point, that some teams are good at specific kind of maps where you have, for example, close combat a lot, or whatever, long range. I don't know, all those kind of things is just something which should be mentioned in the big aspect of the game. But we're live with the pistol round, and you can see heavy grenade setups on the TSM side. Probably Molotov gonna Molotov away the A side or something similar. Just gonna be interesting to see what their approach is with all these grenades, because it is a heavy investment in contrast of not getting all the Kevlars.
And we have full Kevlar for LGB, which is quite interesting because that means there's no kit. So they really want to get proactive and basically attack straight away. They don't want to play too defensively, as the Kevlar will allow them to take a lot of hits. But having no kit is actually quite a big deal here. And so we'll have to see whether or not LGB are going to get lucky here when it comes to the kind of information they get at the right time. And quick push in from A long from TSM as they use all those grenades. Look at this good opening pistol round, and that is a quick frag from Device, opening up the site straight away. And now this is where not having a kit becomes a problem, because if TSM lock them out.
And no grenades to enter the bomb site either. I mean, it should be a complete massacre. It's just great positions where TSM, you even see the backstabber in lower dark right now. Retake coming in from short though.
Cajun B on the back, but here they go on the front. Device is there, already has one frag to his name. And they get closer and closer. Oh, that's a great snap there from Device. He's going to pick up a second one now as Michael hits the ground as well, thanks to Dupree. And it is going to be a nice and tidy pistol round. And I like teams that have a well thought out pistol round.
Yeah, that's well thought out. And I mean, actually, I'm not sure if it was their plan from the beginning. What you saw was KGB scouting out Michael on short, and he saw that he didn't fall back. So they knew that the CTs were putting a lot of emphasis on playing short. That's why they could go out long without using any grenades and then go for that direct push onto the side. I mean, nice aiming by Device, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been that easy.
It's a really good point, and we're going to have this round. It should be a tidy cleanup here. We've got a fast entry to B, and they've done this well. They've got all the angles. They've got the smokes down in time, and LGB, you can see there's not really any way they can take this, so I guess playing for exits is all they're really left with.
And that's basically the no ifs given in this situation of how to play these anti-eco sometimes. Just scouting out for how many is crossing in the mid area, and after that, if you see only 2 guys to B, you're like, okay, 5 against 2 on B. That must not go wrong, you know, so...
yeah, absolutely. It's a really nice way to actually put it, and I'll have to see if LGB can get themselves back in this when they get the buys, because we're going to have... well, at least, I mean... in this situation, you wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't want to too actively frag hunt. I mean, would you? Because they're going to have pistol armor in the next round, and again, you can kind of apply the same principle you just talked about.
Yeah.
Well, teams lose it.
You don't really want to frag hunt that much, but to a certain extent, people care so much about stats that if you have a weapon and you are up against a pistol, even though it's retarded money-wise, you would still go for like getting some kills. And I don't know. You try as an in-game leader or being under in-game leader to just like listen to him, because the in-game leader will always be like, guys, don't push, don't go for it, it's not worth it. And you will always have that little frag horny guy who's just going for it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, that was nasty. And I'm not sure if they saw all the players crossing initially towards B, but they have actually made their way towards long, so it is quite possible that they got that information and they've slowly gotten themselves onto long again. So TSM playing a slow and steady game, but with that man-down situation that they find themselves in, they've got to be careful at this point, because we do have some CTs here. Polly using the jump scout over towards long, so he's got a really good engagement, but they are getting closer and closer. Flash comes out just in time, somehow, some way. Michael gets 2 quick frags with that 5-7 as they were blinded. And it's going to be around for LGB. So good thing that they saved those pistol armors.
For sure. I mean, exactly like you mentioned, that was just a great decision by them. And you could kind of blame TSM for not doing that like harsh style anti-eco again. I mean, the problem is if you spread out too much and you actually give the access of the counter-terrorists getting these kind of entries and not being able to trade, then it can suddenly go wrong. And what we saw was a fail smoke in mid, I think, from TSM, which allowed Poly to have that gap in the smoke, getting the first entry with the scout in the middle area. And from that point, they kind of panicked a bit too early, because even though you're down 4 against 5, you still have the weapon advantage and everything, so it should still work out. Apparently it didn't in this situation.
Okay, so Michael has an AWP now, so things could start to get dangerous, and JKM on the angle as they go for the long take again. And Michael is going to get himself onto a site position. Pop flash his teammate in there, but he's going to die just before the flash arrives, so not perfect timing. And Michael has lots of work to do. Now, they've got a lot of time here, so they don't have to commit into the long area, but they are going to do that now because dupreeh gets the frag onto Michael. That's a nice entry, and Carrigan now creeps up. And that player behind the smoke might be focused on long as well, but no, Carrigan takes him down regardless of that short focus, and dupreeh with another entry into that A-bomb site is going to clean it up, and that's a really nice... they lost nobody, and they're going to reset LGB completely here.
That's great. You saw JKM being kind of caught because Michael was calling out that he was going to flash for him, but it was simply just too late, so he had to peek before the flash, and he was just in a 1-on-3 situation. And it's very rare that you get out of that alive, or at least in a positive trade, so that kind of just snowballed for TSM. They got that kill. Michael was pushed back inside. Then a great shot by Device, I think, onto Michael. Oh, actually, it was probably dupreeh, you're right. Getting that kill on Michael, the short guy, had to make a move, and Carrigan was just playing the smoke position so extremely well.
And now what do? They've got a tiny bit of cash left, but they really need to go for a save here. I mean, they've been completely reset back to the $1,400, $1,900 after this one if they lose this.
Ooh.
But
they're gonna have 3 rifles, so it's not entirely impossible. Michael is for 100% sure gonna be on the box. Just wait for it. Trust me, he's gonna be on this box jumping to short. He normally always do that. He's pretty known for that, both in his NIP times and in his stream times. Let's see if he's gonna do it. He's boosting one guy up to short. They get B completely open. The round is at this point already lost. It's nearly impossible to retake B. They're probably gonna go for some crazy flash-ins, but I see no way that they're gonna get this one.
So they should really go for a save, right? I mean, their money is horrendous, and
exactly.
It kind of looked like they were trying there, and you know what? Polly is even lucky to be alive at this point. And he had an AK, so that could have been a huge loss if he would have gone down there. So it's good that he got reined back in, but we've got Zipnix there over towards Dark, who is looking for some frags here, but not going to find anything just yet. We do have also, it is Cajun B towards T-Spawn, so they have a nice spread, and they're being really safe about this. In fact, it feels like they should frag hunt at this point, wouldn't you say?
They should be a bit more aggressive to a certain extent. I mean, they shouldn't be this defensive, at least. They probably shouldn't force it too much, but they should go for it. But in some way, you can talk about what LGB did there, going for that force buy. Even though it didn't pay off, they kind of stacked heavy towards the A-bomb side. And the important thing was that in case they didn't go for A, they would get away with the weapons and have a new, decent try in this one. If they went for the B retake and lost, they would have been money reset, and everything would have been terrible.
Quick push on short now, and we'll see if they can get some frags out of this. JKM will spot a quick head there. dupreeh, he's going to get tagged in the face, but the nade will finish him off. That's really nice there from JKM. And we have a trade in from Cajun B. He's able to take down a player pushing mid at the same time, so that's going to even things up again, 4 against 4. But Michael is on a mag, and just rifles for the rest of LGB. As here we go, TSM move up. They've got Device at the back covering them with the AWP on the site. Now, this is going to be hard. There's 2 players directly on the bomb site. Oh, that's a great shot there from Zipnix. Takes down range straight away. In comes the spray onto JKM as he has great angles to play with. And Carrigan does even get the quick frag there onto Polly. So they have the bomb plant, and that's on Michael, but, well, he's got a mag.
Yeah, it's impossible at this state. What we need to point out is what you don't want on those 2, playing the A-bomb side, is to not have control over either long or short. You always want to control one of them. You see them right now being sandwiched pretty much every round, and I mean, standing on the side and CT spawn like that is just not viable. I mean, you're going to lose the side for sure. You're going to be shot from both sides, and I mean, it's just not... Yeah, it's just a very bad situation to be in, and they should try and put more emphasis on getting one of them. And if they know that TSM plays heavy long early, which we haven't even seen yet, then they should try to go for the mid pushes, the human boost in mid, to look over the smoke to try and control short that way as well. I mean, right now they're just giving TSM too much space.
Okay, well, I mean, now they don't even have any cash for any real buy. They've got a few pistols, bought 5.7 CZ, a couple armors, and that's about it. A flash from Michael for maybe to pop flash a teammate, but in they go towards A long. JKM does make it safely towards pit. Not sure if he's spotted, but you can bet that they will check that spot. There it is. JKM is found out. Carrigan will spray him down. Doesn't even take any damage, and Dupree's got his back as well, so here comes Rubino with a quick frag onto the man up short, but without any position. There's not much you can do from here. Device, sprays them down with the Tech 9. That really just says it all, doesn't it?
The Rec 9, always,
oh my God.
always scary.
Don't even need to aim it, just spam mouse 1 and
exactly.
in that general direction. 6-1 now the score. TSM looking very strong, but double up now for LGB.
Yeah, we saw this in Cash, didn't pay out too well. Let's see if they can make it work better in this one. To a certain degree, it's easier to have a passive double AWP setup in this map. But from my point of view, you really need to use these AWPs to go out and destroy the structure of the opponents. Because if they get to do all the executes and do whatever they want, it's not going to work out. But a great kill here by Rubino. But then again, a bit of overextending from Dupree's side, running through that smoke with an AWP. He's not a comfortable AWP player. And at the 6-1 situation, everything seems to work out great, so no reason to change it up too much.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they have been playing really tight. But that play from Dupree kind of stands out from how they've been playing so far. It's an interesting one. And maybe giving away a quick edge to LGB could be very costly here, because we still have these 2 AWPs in play, but they are setting up for that short push. If they have the right smokes, they execute onto the A site, they could actually cut them off, but Carragher's going to go straight through, and Rubino goes down straight away. Still 2 AWPs left alive. Michaelele picking up 2 quick frags, make it a 3 kill, just 1 left, and Rain will deal with him. So Michaelele hitting those shots. That was something he wasn't so consistent at for NIP, those crossover defenses, so it's good to see that he's on point this time.
Yeah, he missed a lot of them in the NIP times. But then again, he still somehow had a lot of these rounds where he just got like these 3 or 4 Ks. I don't know. It's something which doesn't really make sense, to miss a lot of shots and have a lot of like multi-frag rounds in a top level game, you know?
Exactly. He feels like a kind of high variance player in that sense. And I guess maybe that's one of the reasons why he wasn't a good fit in NIP, but we'll have a solid long defense here. And once again, KGB this time will be the man as to go down as TSM try to challenge into a long. So this is going to make their split attempt a little bit harder, but maybe they can adapt.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see the mid guy now. He's going to be very key. Important for him not to die. They are 5-on-4, leading a man. Don't go alone and do stupid decisions. He should actually rotate towards B, because leading a man, you have an AWP in A, you can always play for the retake in A. But if he gets smoked off for CT spawn and he's on the boxes, they obviously know that it's a common position. So I like his decision making now, finally going to B before it's too late.
And the Poly's going to have to do a lot of damage here. If he's able to stop this, a couple kills, and that should be it here for LGB. But there's the first one. Gets Device down. Now, the bomb is down there, and he's not going to be there in time, but they go for the challenge. And again, they are challenging him one time after another, but he's not going to get the frag, and they're going to decide finally that it's a better decision to just back away. And 2 versus 5 now for TSM. 30 seconds on the clock. They are just going to go for it. Dupree and Zipnix hand in hand, looking for that entry. And all Rubino has to do now is just delay and be annoying whilst his teammates quickly arrive. But Dupree will find the frag fairly quickly. Will it be fast enough? Zipnix goes down from the back, and Dupree going to get the bomb down just in the nick of time. But he's got lots of players to deal with. There's a quick snap onto J-Chem. 3 more players left as that bomb ticks away. Going to jump across, and Michaelele has the angle, and he will save LGB. And 3 players left alive is nice for them.
And we talked about this map being fairly balanced, so LGB being behind 3-6 is not a disaster yet.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it really depends on what kind of teams you play against and what kind of team you are yourself. You can actually, some teams just are better on the terror side of this map, and some teams are just better at CT. So no matter how this half ends, as long as it's fairly close, don't count anyone out.
And we know that LGB are really strong on the T side, but they have better T half still than they did on CT. It's hard to say how Michaelele affects the dynamic just yet, but...
Yeah, and it's interesting, Will, since they changed out their in-game leader, right? And how are that going to affect their T sides? Obviously, they will have more firepower, but sometimes that doesn't work if you do not have the right choices, the right decisions to be made.
And they're going to go for that B split now. They got the entry onto middle, and then they go. Poly is in a lot of trouble now. He's got no one to help him. Has to hit every single shot. Dupree goes down, but the trade is alive there in Device, and that's going to secure the bomb plant. 3-on-3, and Cajun B has a Molotov to use here. He's got to use it at the perfect moment. We've got one on Rubino there. Going to slow him down, then a smoke as well. That's really nice now, because all they have to do is keep this team play from never really synergizing very well for LGB. This retake, and Time is slowly running out. Oh, that's a great... Oh, 1 HP survive with it, but then comes the nade as well. That's amazing. Michael Ellie goes over the top now, and they get crushed, but that was pretty hilarious.
That was hilarious. I thought actually it was going to work out for him in the end. Fun fact is, the position KGB just had, like sitting on the side, waiting for them to come in from window, like, it's not the common spot to be at, it's like a bit more to the other way around the side. And that spot is actually named after him. At least all Danish players use it, because he's just always in that position. And he's always satisfied when you tell him that you call that spot his name. He's like, yeah, that's me, boys.
All right, well, we've got a faster push coming in from TSM now, and a much more decisive one at that as well. Polly goes down immediately, and he's so key on these B defenses. We can see that they're completely locked out the site. But, wow, we're going to have them moving in it regardless. Somehow, Michael Ele forces his way through the window, and with that flash, he might just get another kill here. There it is with the USP. Going to look for some more there, but he can't do it. But he's given Jacob just an edge.
And the rotation is slow from Rubino. I don't believe they're going to win this.
Bombs down finally, but almost caught out on the reload. Cajun B, excellent play there. Barely surviving in time. Good adjustment. Sipnik's now below. And Cajun B waits by the big box there on the plateau. How does JKM do this? How does he get in here? At the very least, they're both low, but it's not enough. Cajun B decisively will take him out. And that's an 8-3 scoreline as TSM are looking really good. But their money's not super big, actually, because they have been losing quite a few players on these rounds.
Yeah, for sure. But the money on LGB is even worse at the moment. They're going to have to go for eco. And after that, they're going to have a pretty silly buy. So not the best of situation for them. It should theoretically go and be 10-3. And then after that, another eco, 10-4. Oh, sorry, 11-3. So it's going to be very interesting to see if LGB can make a small surprise because they need it.
Well, here we go. They're moving into B once again. They want that fast push in. And so far, actually losing men are LGB. They've only lost 2 so far. It's a 3-on-3 for them, but still they are outgunned, outmatched as Device throws in another shot onto Rubino. And the grenade is going to be enough to deal with Michael Ele. Jacob now going to hit the plant. He knows he's a 1-on-2 momentarily as that happens, but still, it's not nearly enough of an advantage. And there you go.
And now the point is going to be that they have around 4-2, 4-3 probably, yeah. So they can get like pretty much what they need, but none of them is going to have head Kevlar. Most likely doesn't matter anyway. And they're just going to lack very few grenades and probably a defuse kit or 2, but other than that, they should be good. So I want to see them go back to this checking control over one part of the A-bomb side, and then simply just, after you got one of the controls, you can force a rotation guide to CT and then play for the retake and A if needed. But let's see.
Okay, so we have a very standard setup coming in from TSM so far. We've got the upper dark control, A-long control, working into that short control now as a quick peek comes into middle. Let's see what's going on. What information do they see? Can they get an idea on the setup? And wow, Carragher's going out all alone, and he's just going to get annihilated by Rain. And at least he's going to get the info that 2 players are playing in that position. That's going to mean that there's probably a nice opening here on short, and Cajun B is going to abuse that. Here he goes, Michael Ele below. Let's spot him, and Cajun B so calm when he makes this flick over. And Dupree tries to catch rotation, and he'll do just that. Looking good now for TSM. 2 players towards long, though, still for LGB.
Yeah, so they have the possible retake. I mean, they're not out of position. Rubino is going to lose a duel, and at this time, the round is lost. No matter how many kills JK gets now, I think it's lost. Perfect backstab. I mean, that is like, if you go to Counter-Strike theory and you describe how a round should be, a lot of the times that was how it should be. I mean, other than Kerrigan doing that move in mid, you saw that Cajun B went for the risky play, but it was like obviously a very clever one because he saw where the smoke was coming from, so he could sneak through it, and after that you have Dupree doing a perfect backstab in B, and which is very nice.
Yeah, it's very well read on the setups of their opponents after that mid push, and we're going to have now a 5-on-4 as Dupree looks for an entry here onto the B site now. There's 2 players lurking. One on the right, he spots him. That's a really nice adjustment there from Dupree. He does take the frag, and the trade comes in. And that's going to give the information and stretch the defense as well. They haven't seen TSM, I think, just yet. So Rubino's playing behind the smoke, but he's only got a mag, actually. So this should be pretty easy for TSM. Sipnix will take him down, and with the 2 players rotating from LGB, they have such a positional disadvantage.
Jumping scout from Polly is going to be crucial, though.
All right, can he go huge? Can he get Kali in this? Well, here he goes. Oh, Oh no, he can't quite find the flick just yet, and that's the end of that. So
that looked a bit awkward then.
It did look quite awkward, yeah.
I have to admit that it looked a bit awkward.
11-3 now, so your prediction has come true, and one more round in this half for LGB to try to get something together. And the problem is that they just don't have any money still. They've had trouble in the money the entire first half. Really.
Yeah. Michael though, I have to point out that even though Counter-Strike isn't all about frags, he's doing a pretty good job on a losing team at the moment, having 15 kills already.
Okay, so quick short push, quick lower dark push as well, and they might just get the drop on TSM. They're playing a slower round actually, and it's more default one too, so it might just work out. Rubino takes down one. Oh, he switches for the weapon. I can't believe he did that. And that's going to result in a trade when he could have had maybe 2 kills in the bag, and 3-on-3 is now the score on this round, players-wise, and it could be more than that for LGB.
And TSM has just received the information that no one is long, so they're going to put emphasis on something different. They should know that they're going to be around short area then, and let's see how they're going to handle it. I mean, with this information, they're just going to sneak out to take the Belgian CT, and actually 2 CTs waiting.
Gonna have a frag going the way of JChem. He's got a teammate close by. Michael Ellis there. You know, he wants to go through the smoke with JChem and doesn't even need the help. JChem picks up both kills. Device now has to deal with the entire team, and it's looking quite good now. He's got 5 HP. Good for LGB, that is. And there you go. Slam dunk from Michael Ellis. Picks up the frag, so 11-4, but still that's a pretty devastating scoreline. And I have to wonder about that weapon switch. I mean, early in the round, the default setup, always there'll be 2 players up there, always. So it's kind of crazy.
It is very crazy. I mean, you pointed out the obvious thing. Normally you do like 2-1-2 and does 2. So there should be one more guy in tunnel, so yeah. Oh, this aggressive play by KGB. He's obviously going to get the rotating guy Jacob here. Oh, he's awake. Oh, it's awkward.
Oh, running out of ammo. So awkward.
Oh, no. That shot, though.
JChem.
Beautiful. And now they got the entire A side. TSM had a lot of emphasis towards mid, and it's going to be 3 guys running around in the middle as a CT. And look for Rubino here in this corner with a Tech-9. Take it away, baby.
Well, he's going to start the wreck battle. But wow, Dupree, 2 fast kills, and now there is a chance. It's on, but they don't have a kit. They've got to move fast. Really, really fast. Device picked up the Tech-9, but Rain is doing such a good job. Picks up both kills, looking for the next one, and he's going to get all 3. In fact, 4 kills in that round for him, so brilliant stuff. LGB, a T-sided team, going to get the T rounds in what looked like a hard game for them. Maybe they can start swinging things their way.
Yeah, they could potentially. I mean, 1 round at the time now, we know it's hard to even survive these anti-ecos, so just take them, and then we can take the first weapon round.
Usually, I've seen them in the past have really, really good theory behind these anti-eco rounds, and they don't tend to, I mean, again, in the past with Zealous, they never really did stupid stuff. They always did really smart plays in this situation. But again, as you said, new leadership and new plays. And we have Dupree already looking for some fact-finding, and he's going to find 2 players in the middle. So they're just waiting, and that information is not going to be much good here.
Device, yeah. It's going to be about the timing. Dodges the flashbang, gets the first tag, and I mean, now it's just annoying to run out. It's going to be the double kill!
Oh, amazing. And that's going to be brutal, because now it's a 3-on-3, and Device is finally going to go down, but they can pick up those weapons. There's no one. In fact, actually, they've left Rubino there to defend the weapons. So that's
very clever.
Yeah, that's a really good choice.
He's low HP though, so he could lose his rifle as well, and then it's going to be a kind of expensive round. Depends on the positioning. I mean, now they get support from the other guy in mid to help him out, so he's just going to try to save. Jake him here. Ooh. Is he going to go back? KGB smells something.
When I say Cajun, you say, oh, he's dead. All right, I was scared for it. I was scared. I believed.
The timing was unlucky.
Yeah. But actually, that situation where Device got both kills, I almost feel like in that 3-on-3, because the bomb was basically planting in B, that's like a cool spot to just take the guns and save them.
Yeah, it is.
Rounds.
Yeah, and maybe even just like getting one guy to T-spawn to watch and one guy like very passive in A, and then just take the rotating guys as terrorists away from the bump side. So maybe you get even one more kill and you save the guns. And this is going to be difficult. USP. I mean, there's really not much to do in this situation. I mean, even though you talk about pistols being overpowered, I mean, the default pistols are still kind of hard to control against a fully equipped opponent team.
Indeed. I like how Device went from nostalgia, taking off the silencer.
Yeah.
I love that sound. It's so awesome.
Good old times, right?
It's a shame that, I mean, the USP in 1.6 was so awesome. You could like spray it and stuff. Oh, it was so awesome. I loved it. It was amazing.
But you kind of get mad if someone takes away the silencer from the silenced M4, right? Then you're like, why did you even take this weapon then? I mean,
it's so pointless.
Yeah, it looks so silly as well.
Okay, so we're going to have 11-7 the scoreline. LGB forcing their way back in this one. That's a nice nade, but Michael Elliott has the frag too as KGB goes for the peak. So this is looking good right now. LGB getting nice entries onto A long. So it's really early in the round too. They've got so much time to play with.
That's like no fear. LGB is here. They're just going for it. They don't even doubt their choices in this situation. Great play. Flash it through the smoke. This could be dangerous.
Oh, Zipnix could have destroyed the round.
Exactly. I don't agree with this call. I mean, 5-on-3, why would you flash through a smoke like that and take the risk? If Zipnix would just have been 5% more lucky, he would have got both kills, and suddenly we are back into a doable situation for the CTs. So didn't really agree with that call. I mean, even though it worked, that's the thing sometimes. You can say that even though a call worked out, you can say that it wasn't the right call in this situation.
Yeah, you never want to be results oriented. That leads to a lot of walls in your play.
Yeah,
like, we're losing. I don't know why we're losing.
Exactly.
Being results oriented is one of the most. It like clouds your judgment. It clouds your ability to make good decisions, and then.
Yeah, you have a lot of discussions in teams within those specific things. Like if you do an NCCO and you end up winning, but you lose like 3 or 4 guys, someone will be mad and someone will be like, hey, dude, we won anyways. But the thing is, you need to go in and see what could we have done better in this situation and why did it go into such a close round when it obviously shouldn't have been. So that's a big subject up for discussion in these teams. And different mentalities give different point of views, and sometimes that just clashes into awful discussions with people leaving TeamSpeak. And you know, people don't think that it happens in good teams, but it does. I mean, it even happens in the very best of them. People leaving TeamSpeak, going directly offline on Steam, all those kind of things.
Sounds like a teenage drama.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I mean, it's if you want to be the best team in the world, I mean, decision making is one of the easiest things to fix. But the thing is, as well, is that and I see this in every game. You gotta always account for the fact that some players break all the theory basically. Some players are so consistent at doing stuff that is in theory in the natural theory is just wrong. But
like JW, for example,
exactly. He's playing like he's got a rifle, but he's AWPing it and making like decisions like he was a rifle with an AWP. But like he can make it work, and that's what. At the very top level, the really true elite players, what makes them star players, that's what they do. They break the game and how you should think about it. But it's wrong. It's wrong. It
is completely wrong to do like it does, and that's why you can't write a specific book about how to play Counter-Strike. You can do like theories which like this should work out, but then someone like JW just ruins everything. And they do the long push again.
They really do like this, but it's been working out for them so far, and they get it pretty fast. But Carrigan is behind the smoke here with Zipnix to support. They've got 3 players here.
Rain in the smoke. Seemed like he should have had that kill, I think. From the point of view that we saw. Missed quite a few bullets, but anyways, 5-on-3. It's going to be up to Michael Lillen now to try and open up the map. Obviously, the Rifles is going to try to search for it as well, and Device. Great flick shot down to middle here, and that's exactly why you should never double zoom in this position, because you need to have the information both if they're coming up and down.
Okay, we've got Ruben now. He's going to try to open it up a little bit, but they haven't put anyone on CT. I love that they're playing the strong default setups on the site where they always can team play together and not. They don't need to spread out. They don't need information. They can play it safe here, and so they're doing it right. It would seem, and going up short.
Yeah, what you're going to see is KGB most likely going to get the first kill unless Zipnix steps out, which he really shouldn't. And as soon as KGB gets a kill, then Zipnix is going to step out to get the second one. You see? Yeah, it's just like the obvious things to do. And that's why Michael was also expecting it, that he might as well just aim at the side in this situation.
Okay, so 20 seconds left. Can he make something happen here? No is the answer. You know, one play that I like seeing players do sometimes, like a little mind game thing, is when you see the T's in that position, where because like you say, you have like the one guy who maybe be like jiggling just to like bait out bait out the shot or something. Sometimes I see players and they'll do the kind of mind game move where they'll just fire their gun like the T will fire his AK, to like make it sound like the other guy should peek out.
Yeah.
And I love that kind of stuff. You don't always see it work out, but it's pretty.
Yeah, it's really cool when it works out though. You're so right. But once again, they get the entry along, and I mean, even though it didn't work out last round, I like that they keep doing it. You know, not scared of doing it again because it failed once. And this push by TSM is going to be on a flash from KGB. He's going to push through. He's going to see 3 members.
The spray. This time it didn't go well either. Xyp9x with so much left to be desired, and Device at least has the angle very far away the AWP, but there's just no way that he's getting on the site in time, no way that they're going to get the frags they need to pull off this retake. LGB have done it. They've got another round in the bag, and despite some damage being done by TSM, and having a good setup actually to deal with that, like usually they've been playing kind of more heavy long setups, very safe setups, not much presence on cap, but that time they had like a 2-man setup there. They just couldn't pull out the execution.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, the decision making was pretty good, you know, to take initiative. It's like the opposite approach of what we saw LGB do in these situations. They would just have been pinned up on the side, and that's exactly what I said. You need to have control of either one of long or short. So I really like the decision by TSM to push through the smoke with the flash. Xyp9x, to a certain degree, probably unlucky not getting that spray down. He should have had like 2.5 guy, and then if KGB gets one with the AWP, suddenly the round is open again. But I like the teams doing initiatives, not just staying pinned on side, because it's a very rare situation that it actually works.
Absolutely, and fast timing here for Rubino, but they've gone back to their more default setup here. They got the safe A-long push setup where they have 3 potential people to support, and LGB not going to find anything. So,
but already now I can tell you that most likely LGB is going to lose this round, and it's just because since they don't have an in-game leader, and like from watching the games, you can see that they haven't been that strong in the mid-round decision-making. And since they didn't get this long control, where they had an advantage in map control, it's going to be way harder to win the round. So that's why I could call it like pretty early that, I mean, I could still be wrong, but it's just a feeling I have.
Oh, great push from Dupree. Picks up one, though, not the second one, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on their remaining B player, but they have the man advantage, so that's okay. It's going to be Device who's locking it down. Polly has to try to duel him, try to get an advantage, but he is in trouble. Here goes Device. Oh, what is happening? What's going on behind the smoke? Device comes in with the USP, picks up the kill finally, and Jay comes in with the chance. He's got 40 seconds, but there's a man on the flank. He's so smart, though. He knows. Moving back. Carrigan gets the one-on-one, and another round there for TSM. But that could have gone nastily for TSM.
It was pretty good game sense by Jakin that just clear out his back. If he would have been winning that duel against Carrigan, it would have been one-on-one. A lot of time, he could play the entire map, and then he would have a big advantage. Unfortunately, Carrigan seemed to be very fast in this situation, and just great play by Carrigan.
Okay, so there's a bit of a force-up here from LGB. They got some Tech 9s in the action, and Device is already going to win the duel against Polly early in the round. So now things get a little bit interesting, because they can't really afford to just go peeking for one-on-ones right now. They've already lost the man. This is going to get awkward. Going to go for the entry on middle. Now Dupree's there. He's got a perfect position to evade the flash and gets a free kill. Device has him covered as well, so no trades are possible. And LGB, they've got nothing left. They've got Michaelele and Rain. Maybe I shouldn't call that nothing, but it's going to be hard here. Device is ready and waiting. He's delaying them so much, actually. It's looking really good for him. And it looks like Michaelele cannot survive the flank, so TSM looking pretty good to close this one out.
For sure. And economy, I mean, what do you do in this situation? Do you go for the Sig9 force buy, or do you wait around and hope to get a proper buy in the next one? And you would have seen Envy, for example. They would have forced this one, and if they lost, they could force again. But then again, it's different approaches, once again, from different teams, different leaders, different kind of player types. And they go, and they pretty much just admit that this round is lost, you know?
Absolutely, and already we're seeing that Xyp9x will get some free kills there. So, I mean, one of the maybe advantages is like rushing in with numbers. Oh, wow, okay, Rain is going to pick up the kill. Almost looking for a headshot there on Carrigan, but does not get it, and there is a clean round for TSM. So the buy is going to come in from LGB now, and where do you see them picking up an advantage here? What do they have to do with this buy?
I think once again they probably either have to do some... I would maybe go for a direct B split, because they haven't done that, and they should know by now that TSM plays 3 guys in A in the majority of the rounds, early stage. So that's what I would have done, and it seems like they're not really going to go for the heavy A play though. So, I mean, maybe I'm right in this one. Let's see.
Yeah, I completely agree here. Like, just blow up the timing with that fast pace on the B split. That would be so awesome to see. And
yes,
nice. They're gonna have it. So Cadian, is it gonna go well for them though? Here comes the execute as they rush in. They got the bomb in the upper dock at the moment, and in they go. It's 2 players. Now, can they find them fast enough? Oh, that's a great kill on the device, and Dupree goes down as well. So 5 versus 3, and boom, they destroyed the timing early in the round, and. Yeah, I guess one thing to like quickly say is when you say timing, like every round has like a natural timing where depending on the strategy, players will be in certain positions like that.
Yeah.
That A long defense, when you're paranoid of that, then players after 10-15 seconds slowly fall back, spread out, more cat presence and so on.
Exactly. So that's why if they would have done it 10 seconds later, it probably wouldn't have worked out as well, because the backup from the CT guys would have been like way harder and way.
Uh-oh. Oh, they don't spot him. It's not going to mean all that much, but still, it's...
I mean, to a certain degree, it might. I mean, they can probably rebuy something, but I don't think they're going to have money for all grenades, will they? Oh, yeah, they probably will, because the 3 remaining guys, 2 of them will grab an AK, and then they can buy it, but... It's not good for the economy, at least, if they wanted another AWP or whatsoever.
Every little helps, I guess, as LGB try to claw their way back to overtime. And... well, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not we're going to have a big round here from LGB. They've got themselves an AWP on Michael Ellis, so, well, they had one at least.
Yeah, they had one.
He went for the timing one-on-one against KGB.
And I think if it gets smoked, let's see if they smoke it after. I could imagine the terrorist tries to pick it up in the smoke. Polly is a very strong AWP player as well, and he probably had to make a decision within himself when getting Michael Ellis to the team, that he would have to drop that role the majority of the time.
And that spray there from Rain also was a timing thing through the smoke there, because the CT sometimes will drop a player and have the 2-man presence on mid, so that this can be like B-split timing, or when players try to jump up the Xbox into catwalks. So, but LGB are playing it much slower than that in this round. They're actually taking the pace down down after that early trade.
Oh, Rain just sneaking out in mid. Is he gonna surprise Sipnix here?
Oh, big one-on-one there. Zinix does win it, and he might get the confidence to go through the smoke now, and that gives so much info. He's going to do that. He's going to see that no one's coming there, and take him. He's got to win this one-on-one. Dupree, he's going to take it, though, and now it's all on Polly. He's going to go down. TSM will win 16-11, and he thoughts on that one. How do you think LGB did there?
I think LGB had some good moments as terrorists, and they just lacked